Oh yeah. Hey there, herd members. Welcome back to another WV Guns and Goats video. We got a beautiful day out here in West Virginia. It's about 60 degrees today, and I thought I'd hit the range with the Archon Firearms Type B Gen 2 pistol. Now, in part one of this video, I showed you everything that comes with this gun from the factory, its different features, and what makes this such a unique pistol. In this video, we're out here on the range to put some ammo through it. We got hollow points, full metal jackets, a bunch of different types of ammo, and we're gonna shoot it both with iron sights and with an optic today. So let's go ahead and hit the range, and if you haven't become a herd member yet, how about you headbutt that subscribe button? We're gonna start off with some Fiocchi Range Dynamics ammo. One nice thing about the Archon, it's got this really large mag well on the bottom of it, pretty flared out, so it makes getting magazines in there pretty easy. Got some Federal 115 grain ammo. Arms Core 115 grain. Had one malfunction with the Arms Core. We'll see if it gets any better while we're shooting. So we had one stoppage with the Arms Core, but I had forgot to lubricate this pistol. She's slick right now. Let's see if it eats through this mag of the Arms Core. Had another on the last round. So something on the last round with that Arms Core is causing us an issue. Now, before we started filming, I have had about 100 rounds of Winchester White Box through this gun. And today we're putting more ammo through it. So we'll see if the Arms Core continues to give us an issue on that last round. So we switched over to some CCI Blazer ammo, 115 grain. No issues with the Blazer. All right, Max Tech ammo. Let's see if the Archon eats it up. Now, this pistol is a joy to shoot. It's quick to shoot, and it doesn't have a lot of recoil due to that AF speed lock system. There's not a lot of muzzle rise to it. Let's do some more shooting with it. Now let's bump up a little bit in grain weight. We've got some BPS. This is a Turkish-made 124 grain ammo. Let's go ahead and see how it does. Well, I missed the last one on the plate rack, but it fed fine. Always got to try these 150 grain Federal Syntech rounds. Missed the last plate again, but it fed fine. So I went ahead and I got a different box of Arms Core ammo than the one I was trying before to see if we still have that issue on the last round. So that fed all the rounds without a problem that time. Hey everybody, enjoy this goat break while I lubricate the plate rack, and then we'll get back to shooting. Okay, 10 more rounds of that Arms Core. no problems. So I apologize for the wind noise. It's picking up a little bit out here. Got some more arms core here. Let's go. This is some Federal 147 grain. It's not HST. It looks like kind of like an older Hydra shock, but it doesn't have the little peg in the middle of it. It was just in a plain white box, but it is 147 grain. Here's the group with that Federal 147 grain. Federal HST 124 grain plus P defensive loads. I just have 5 loaded in here. These are pretty spicy rounds and kind of expensive. If you've bought HSTs before, you'll know why I'm only shooting 5 rounds. So we did not have any feed issues with the 147 grain hollow points or the 124 grain HSTs here. We're going to see how fast we can shoot 6 rounds out of the Archon on the timer. We're gonna do a couple different batches of 6 rounds and see how fast we can get. All right, so my dad's gonna run the timer. So as soon as I hear the beep, I'm gonna start shooting the target down there. We'll see how fast we can get. We're gonna try 115 grain now and see if we can get faster with the Archon. So the target we're using is the DA Targets color changing IDPA silhouette. You could see it change color as we made hits on it, so check those guys out. Now, if I look a little bit different in this portion of the video than I do in the rest of the video, that's because I'm out here on another day to redo the iron sight accuracy portion of this video. I just wasn't happy with the groups I shot when I originally tested the iron sights on the Archon. I know it's a very accurate pistol, so let's try to get some better groups out of it today. We're gonna start with 115 grain CCI Blazer ammo. We're at about 10 yards from the target here. We got 6 rounds in the gun. Next up is Federal Champion 115 grain, 6 rounds again. And finally, Arms Core 124 grain, full metal jacket. See if we can shoot this accurately. Now let's go down and check out the groups. Check out these groups, everybody. There's 1, 2, 3. Let's talk about them starting from the top. This was shot with the CCI Blazer 115 grain ammo. Pretty good group there. Our second group got a little tighter. This was shot with the Federal 115 grain Champion. And our best group was shot here on the bottom with the Arms Corps 124 grain ammo. So the Archon is accurate if you are accurate. Thought I'd put a few more rounds on that same target. We got 6 rounds loaded, more of the CCI Blazer. We're going to shoot that top target again. Six more rounds of Federal Champion. And finally, 6 more rounds of the Arms Corps 124 grain. Okay, I happened to pull one low and right. You'll see it on the target here in a moment. Look at this, everybody. We shot an additional 6 rounds for a total of 12 rounds on each target. And our first target is the CCI Blazer 115 grain. Pretty good right there. And then we have the Federal Champion 115 grain. The groups are getting better. And the Arms Corps 124 grain, except for this little guy down here, which I pulled. The Arms Corps gave us excellent accuracy out of the Archon, but the gun is accurate if you're accurate. Oh, missed the last one. Oh yeah. So you saw there how adding the optic to the Archon allowed us to go pretty quick on those plates, although there was a couple times I was having problems with the first or the last plate. I didn't really just get a straight clean run on the plate rack there, but the optic on this gun allowed us to do it pretty quickly. Okay, let's see if we still have a problem with the 115 grain Arms Corps feeding the very last round in this gun. Since we've put a good bit of ammo through it in this video, we're gonna go back to this 115 for this magazine. Let's see if it still gives us a problem. Okay, even though I missed the last plate, it did feed every round of that Arms Corps. The Arms Corps 115 grain worked that time. I've got 3 rounds of it left. Let's see if it gets through these 3. It fed all 3 rounds without a problem. So it may have just had to break in the magazine a little bit. So I don't know. I don't have much more of that 115 grain Arms Corps left. I have mostly 124 grain, which hasn't been giving us any problems. Let's try shooting the Archon at 50 yards. Got a steel plate down there. All good except for that last one. There's that group on the head. And now the group on the torso. I realized I forgot to cover this right here. See this raised area around the mag release button? When you press it, it sinks down into that area right there. Now it's designed to prevent the button from getting pressed accidentally and dropping the magazine, but some people online complain that it prevents them from easily pressing that button and dropping the magazine when they're ready to reload. Now, since I cannot find an extended mag release button for the Type B Gen 2, I think the only way to fix that is to take the mag catch assembly out of the firearm itself and then take a tool like a Dremel tool or files and physically remove that material to lower that area on the frame to expose more of the button to make it easier to hit. There it is, everybody. The Archon Firearms Type B Gen 2. I love this pistol. I'm glad I picked up one for myself, and it fixes all the issues that I had with the Generation 1 when I reviewed it, which was kind of getting my hand skin pinched between the mag and the frame here, and the fact that it did not have an optics cut. I saw a bunch of potential in the gun if only it had had an optics cut. And honestly, if you're looking at buying one of these guns and you're looking at just getting the iron sight only model, spend the extra money, get the optics cut. You'll thank me later. This gun comes alive when you pair an optic with it because you take an already fast shooting gun and you make it faster. You saw how quick we were able to knock down the plates on the plate rack, but we had that Defiant first or last plate, but we were able to knock his friends down super, super quickly. And that first or last plate, that's not a gun problem. That was just a me problem. I also love the aesthetics of this gun. It looks like it came straight out of a futuristic movie with that press check valley on there. And it's got a unique operating system and a super low bore axis. So if you're into weird guns, this is going to be one that you're going to want to look at as well. Now, it was also pretty reliable. We had some issues at first with the Armscore 115 grain, where the last round just wouldn't feed into the gun. However, we went and then we put a couple hundred rounds of different type of ammo through this, all different types of 9mm, the full metal jacket, the hollow points. We didn't have any problems with the other types of ammo. And then when we went back to the 115 grain Armscore after a couple hundred rounds, well, the problem of the last round hangup seems to have solved itself. And we put close to 500 rounds through this gun. So we put a good bit of ammo through it in making this video. I'd have to count all the little individual shell casings to let you know exactly how many we put through it, but I don't have the time to do that. Now, this gun isn't cheap. These run right at around $1,000. Yes, the iron sight only model is cheaper, but like I said, get the optics cut version. It's 100% worth it. You can find these guns at PTR's website, and you can also read about them on Archon Firearms website. So let me know down in the comments section, what do you think about the Archon Firearms Type B Gen 2? Do you own a Gen 1, one of the original ones that came into the country years ago? Do you have one of the new production Gen 1s? Or do you have an Archon Firearms Type B Gen 2? Or are you thinking about getting one? I want to hear from you herd members out there watching. Let me know. Blow up them comments section. I want to hear from you guys out there. This has been another WV Guns and Goats video, everybody. Remember, if you're not out there having fun shooting, what are you doing?